round two of installing an LS engine into my 64 Biscayne. It's now 3:30 in the morning. Alright, so it's a new day here in the shop. Last episode we worked on the front cross member, pulled that fuel tank out, and removed the transmission cross member. I have since built a block off plate for the gas pedal because it's going to interfere. You can see it right there. Right there. It's going to interfere with the LS engine. Obviously it's quite a bit wider than an inline six, so that wasn't going to work. So I think I'm at the point now where I can bolt the engine to the new transmission and try and mock things up again. I got to figure out what I'm going to do as far as the transmission cross member goes, and I want to make sure that the clearancing I've done is going to work and that everything else is going to fit. So painful, but part of the process is you put the motor in and pull it out multiple times when you're doing stuff like this. So round two of installing an LS engine into my 64 Biscayne. Okay, so obviously I went ahead and got the transmission mated to the engine. Got it up on the engine hoist. I have to have it on such an angle just to get it in here. I've learned that the last time I did this. But my hope is I can get it stuffed in there, kind of lined up, so I can figure out what I'm going to have to do for a cross member as far as the transmission goes, and get fabbing that, and then make sure that the clearancing I've done is going to work and that I don't need to clearance anything else for this engine to sit in there one final time. So we'll get to it. Alright, so I got the engine sitting in there. That's always way more of a battle than it should be, but it is in there. So now I can properly measure for that cross member, get something built there. Maybe I can modify the original one. Fingers crossed, hopefully. That would be nice. But yeah, other than that, it actually looks pretty good. I'll show you here. So I've got clearance there, which I was worried about. My notch looks really good. Tons of room on that side, tons of room on that side. I can show you from underneath here, maybe. Oh yeah. All the room there, so might even be able to sneak the pan out of there in the future if I need to. So that makes me happy. Lots of room for headers. An insane amount of room for accessories up front. Not used to that, but no, she looks good in there. So I will dive underneath and see what the cross member looks like. Well, this might be hard to see on camera, but I don't know if I'm going to have to do any modifying as far as the cross member goes, because it looks like it's going to line up. So I took the mount that was on the TH350 and swapped it with the one that was on the Power Glide. And I don't know, like, I guess it would make sense that they probably had these cars, or maybe the Impala or something, with the option of a 350. Oh yeah, I think that's gonna work. That's awesome. So I don't have to modify anything. Like I was saying, it makes sense that these cars would have been optioned with a TH350, but yeah, it looks like obviously they did, because I don't see why that's not going to work. I'll throw some bolts in it, drop that transmission down, and we'll see. So I can't squeeze. Some hardware in here. There, that'll at least hold it in place. I'll take the weight off the jack. All right. Oops, sorry. Yep, that's gonna work. Just, but it will. Awesome. That is awesome. Actually, I wonder if this could be flipped. No, that would make it worse. Yep. Well, that's good news. I don't have to modify that. Easy peasy. Well, that went a little bit smoother than I thought it would. I've got the engine and trans in the car finally, hopefully for the last time, but maybe not. I'm still not 100% sure on the condition of the transmission. The guy I got it from said it was a fresh rebuild a few years prior. They put it in a vehicle and then shortly thereafter blown up the engine, so it just kind of sat. So fingers crossed there, but I'll change the oil, check it out, make sure it's good. I see they just cut the kickdown cable, so I'll have to get a new one of those, figure out how I'm going to make that work with the LS. Yeah, still lots to figure out, intake, wiring, everything, right? But I'm really happy that the engine and transmission are in the car. I finished bolting down everything in the back end, the cross member is bolted in, the trans is bolted to the cross member. I tightened up the bolts on the motor mounts, so that's all good to go, and I'm quite happy with how it turned out. Looks like I'm going to have lots of room to work, so that makes me happy. That's probably all I'm going to do for today, so I will pick this up another day when I likely start working on the exhaust or the steering. I've got to figure out something for an intake because I'm not sure I want to put a truck intake in there, and based on the measurements I did in an earlier video, I'm going to have to clearance the hood just a tiny little bit, so got to figure out something there, but yeah, plenty of work to do. So I guess we'll see you another day.